Hello and welcome to another market update video. Today we're going to talk about Bitcoin, we're going to talk a little bit about Ethereum, Solana and Tesla, pretty much. So the last week, this week has been pretty choppy in my opinion. Not that many great opportunities after the short opportunity. Being a little bit bleedy price action and not really much bounce opportunities. So it's been a pretty chilled week on my part. That's just the way it is sometimes. When you're a full-time trader, some days are boring. Most days are pretty chill, but it's really stressful when things are going crazy. And as you all know, Trump has been going crazy lately, and we have seen some moves, both at least in oil, been crazy lately. But I'm going to talk a little bit about my idea about Bitcoin right now at this time. We've been trading this range since the start of February pretty much, and we're now sitting at the range value low. As you all know, extremely important zone. If you start breaking down from here, the most likely scenario is that we hit, in my opinion, the lows sitting in here, but that's just for a scalp idea in my opinion. These lows, most likely we're gonna visit all the way down to 60 in my opinion before any major bounce. We may also, for example, swing failure pattern these lows, sweep these lows with a wick below and close above, candle close, and then target this range value low for the long trade, and then that will make it a break it point for a potential continuance trade to push range point of control or even range value high if we can get acceptance above point of control. But most likely a rejection, some rejection down for the value low, and that's a great target and a TP for sure with a long trade. But it isn't even possible to get a little fake out below this value low to push this point of control. Not impossible at all, but we need to see what happens. In my opinion, these are also super key. Range extreme to the downside, but extremely important to hold this value low for the bulls. If not, we're likely going to get a pullback down to 63 or even 60 with time. But as you all know, if you find acceptance above 68, 70 is 71 is on the table again. That's just the way that we're trading in range, right? So we're trading both ways, short and long. We don't really care about bull, bear, all these things. Going to the moon, I don't care. That's not the way I'm trading. I'm trading back and forth and trading confluences with risk to reward and risk management. And if Bitcoin goes up today from this value low, very possible, pushing the point of control, maybe reclaiming and pushing 70, who knows. That's okay, but if it dumps, okay, perfect. That's just trading in range and trading both ways. Trading pretty much with a system, not with feelings and what you want to see. Trading what you are seeing and what you find as a good possibility. We can have a look at the Forex Factory because we have the coming week has a lot of news coming from the US, and that's great. We'll likely get some more volume in the market, and that's exactly what I want to see during New York, because last week was so boring during New York, in my opinion. The start of the week was great, but afterwards it was pretty low volume, and pretty much London and Asia did the wonders, not New York. And I pretty much always trade New York, so that wasn't really that nice on my part. Looking at my classic chart, as you all know, we'd pretty much just been chopping around this previous day equilibrium today. Pretty normal, also with a VWAP in the same zone. I prepared some confluence zones for the coming week on areas I'm watching both for take profits and for shorts, for longs, and reactions in general. These are my main zones short term. I'm gonna remove some confluences because in our object tree, because I have a lot, as you all know. I love to have everything, but I'm gonna remove some. It's easier to see for you guys. So these are pretty much my key confluence zones in the short term. We also at this, as you all know, range value low right here, but I can't really have a box. It just looks stupid, but you know it's a key zone we're trading at right now. But this zone down here, weekly week low and the value low in the same area, is extremely important. And we also have this weekly daily signal print plus the point control. I can also add the point control in the confluence box because we also have a point control right here. Range point control. I'm also going to use this R small. That's pretty much my main confluence zones in the short term for Bitcoin. We can have a look at Ethereum. Also in the short term, I have some zones for Ethereum as well. Ethereum isn't really been super interesting for me lately because I have been trading Bitcoin mostly. And in my opinion, if you can trade one thing good, why try to trade 20 things half-ass? Just do one thing on a real and avoid making things more complicated than it needs to be. Looking at Ethereum, as you all know, I've been talking so much about this zone below. I want to see this zone get hit for taking a potential long trade, but we are staying above and doesn't really seem to break down because yeah, it's of course some support in this zone, of course. But if Bitcoin gets one more flush, we are very likely to get down here and maybe get a fake out into the buy tails and then get a push for a potential long trade. That's the only main interest zone for Ethereum on me. Looking at Solana, we have taken a very key support zone. We had a buy tail in here as well. We have taken that one fully, not hit the big one. We got this nice bounce during this week. Another pretty nice bounce here. I pretty much wanted to see a little bit of fake out, maybe take the whole tail for a push to the upside. That's still a possibility, but we are taking the first one right now and getting a little bounce. But if Bitcoin gets weak and breaks down one more time, I expect Solana to at least take this buy tail, maybe even the naked daily point control at around 79. Be prepared for everything, that's the key. We can have a little bit of a look at Tesla as well, because I know many people are talking about that one. On the bigger picture, in my opinion, we're trading at extremely key support. If we lose this, it may get bull. And the next major support zone for Tesla, in my opinion, is around $300. I'll be looking for a bid around 300 for a swing trade, position trade towards this green zone. Maybe even some higher, but I think that's a great zone looking for a bid and holding for maybe a few weeks or a few months. But we may reclaim this zone and push. The fundamentals of Tesla is of course good, and I know many people agree. And I think long-term Tesla is a good idea, but I saw some people buying up here. In my opinion, this doesn't make any sense. I don't care if the case is so bullish, I don't care. As a trader, that doesn't make any sense. Buying resistance doesn't make any sense. But if we reclaim this, we may get a nice push. But breaking down, I expect the 300 zone to get hit, in my opinion. That was pretty much the update. Watch the range value low here. Watch how the market opens. And let's see what the week gets of opportunities. Stay safe. For anyone needing links to trade, I have links to Bybit, BloFin, BingX, and MEXC for discounts in